Hello everyone and welcome to the mill today. Today we have our 2024 wrap up. Jamie Stonemaier recently did the annual survey for kind of all the stakeholders, and so that just went out, and it went out with a lot of Stonemaier's 2024 wrap up. So that's what we're going to cover at the mill today. I'll mostly go over kind of what Jamie mentioned, what releases came out this year, and then kind of review kind of what we did on the mill this year and that kind of news. I'm going to save like the progress chart and the 2025 riddles and all that for a future episode because a lot happened in 2024. So I'm going to let Molly kind of take on the 2025 part. So first, if you are a Stonemaier champion, it was in the champion newsletter this week. It was also in the regular newsletter and is still online. So if you would like to fill out the Stonemaier kind of annual survey, it really helps them. To quote Jamie, you kind of gonna come help Selenia? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, she changed her mind. Almost got a kitty appearance. All right. But as Jamie says, the survey has a big impact on upcoming decisions. So this is where people kind of say what games they're playing. I know there's always a question about how many campaigns are you actually playing and all those types of questions. So if you haven't already filled that out, definitely try to click on that and help Stonemaier out a little bit. Jamie incentivizes that there will be a gift that you can use through the web store if you give your contact info. That'll go through 12/15. So that is, well, as in the date, December 15th. So if you're interested and if you can help them out, that's always a great help for them. All right, the next part was he had his 2024 celebrations, which were really a list of the releases. So in 2024, we started with Wormspan. And actually on this past live cast, Jamie also brought up when people were asking about surprises of the year, he kind of brought Wormspan up as a surprise. He was, and the company was, they knew they might get some backlash, like people saying, oh my gosh, it's just a reskin. They're just trying to make money. And they're really worried about it because they really are different games. I know I personally am very happy to have both Wingspan and Wormspan on my shelf, but Jamie said he was pleasantly surprised by when the community actually got Wormspan that they really loved it and they supported that, and kind of that initial backlash really didn't stay because it was unique enough. Connie Volgeman, who also did Apiary, designed it with the help from Elizabeth Hargrave, and it was just a very different feel. So that was kind of how we started 2024. And then from there, we also got the news of Vantage, which doesn't come out until later, but did get these Vantage coins, which are some pretty cool, fun ones. You didn't have to buy them, but I did because they're really neat and they go with a bunch of games. I love metal coins. The next one was Gears of Corruption. That was the expansion for Expeditions, and this one added the Corrupted Mech, which was kind of a cool module. What I personally really liked was that it added the Hero Worker. So if you were at the beginning of the game and you felt really constrained because you couldn't get a worker right away, you had that wild worker, you had some resources. So I know that personally I loved that part, and I think Gears of Corruption, that was a really big hit. The Metal Mech version actually sold out much faster than they anticipated, and Jamie has mentioned that should be back in stock in January, so fingers crossed. I know they're hoping to try to get it for the holidays, but shipping is what shipping is. And then after Gears of Corruption, we got Rolling Realms Redux this summer, which was super fun. I have a whole series of videos for the new solo mode, which I really gravitated to. It was kind of going through like a soccer league, and so you could get demoted or promoted between leagues. It was really fun. So it's kind of a 5-week series. I divided that up into 3 sessions. So if you want to see that cool solo mode, I definitely have 3 videos for you going through the entirety of going through that first league. So you can kind of see how that works if you like solo or you like a puzzle. All right. The next thing after Rolling Realms Redux, we got Stamp Swap, which was by Paul Solomon, who also did Honey Buzz. And that was an I Cut You Choose. We also had an interview with Paul at one point. So that was another fun release that came right before Essenspiel, along with the Apiary Expanding the Hive expansion, which was really a more stuff expansion. So if you're an apiary fan, honestly, it's a easy buy because it just integrates right in. You don't really have to worry about it if you are teaching it to new people. And honestly, I loved it. It was so much fun. The frames, because you get new frames that have different bonuses on them, and that was just a really cool tweak if you're into apiary. Besides that, we also got so many Rolling Realms promos. I put it on the thumbnail, and hopefully Molly in editing will be able to pop it up on the screen. But Jamie had a really nice picture that went along with the newsletters that had displayed everything that came out really this year with games, and it had a really cool kind of half circle of all the promo realms that came out. And you can kind of see there were a bunch of them. So that also was part of the releases of this year. Kind of some minor things we did get with the charity auction. We got these pretty cool stone eggs. They're kind of made to look like jade, but you can tell. If you can hear that, I'll put by the mic. All right, yeah, they're definitely stone. They're very neat. Luckily, my kids aren't here, so they're definitely getting that under the Christmas tree. And then also came out around the charity auction was also at Gen Con. We had the Wormspan enamel pins. Personally, I think these are going to make some great gifts. This is the little guy I'm keeping for myself, honestly, because that's one of my favorites, which is going to come into play when I talk about something else here in a minute. All right, the last part that came out, there were some new containers you can use for any games. They were really kind of inspired from Wingspan, Wormspan containers. And this year we also learned about Stonemaier acquiring the entire Tokaido line. So that's something we're going to be looking forward to. If you saw my top 5 Stonemaier games that I did a little bit ago, I had my son Luca on with me, and he has been loving Tokaido. So that's going to be really fun to have in Stonemeier's line. Along with, they're planning on doing the rest of the lines of Tokaido, not just the one game. So that'll be cool. Recently, someone told me I should really try out the Tokaido Duel, so I'm looking forward to Stonemaier hopefully doing that one so I can get that copy. All right, so those were releases. Now I'm going to move on to every year Jamie does his teasers. So we had 3 teasers for 2024. And he revealed in the newsletter what they are. So the first one was Mysterious. I'm looking at my notes if you're wondering why I'm looking. The first one was Mysterious Future Revealed First in Ore. And he revealed this was Vantage because while it's not out, he announced it and revealed an Ore. They brought out the coins early to get people excited. So that first one was Vantage. The second, a switcheroo, both in schedule and theme. That was referring to Stamp Swap because switcheroo in that it's the I Cut You Choose. And they also switched the scheduling around with releases a little bit this year, so that would line up closer to Essenspiel. And then the last one was, and I think a lot of us predicted this at the beginning of 2024, knowing Jamie's love of chocolate. A reveal so sweet you can almost taste it was the Stonemaier Chocolate of the Day bars that came out for April Fools this year, which were quite good. Even as someone who's not a huge chocolate person, I thought they were pretty nice. We had them I bought them for one of our board game days. All right. And I've already hinted there's the annual charity auction also happened, and that was where you could, if you weren't at Gen Con, the pins came out, and also if you bought the stone eggs while it was going on, then Stonemaier donated even more money. The total amount of money that charities got this year was $35,121, which is amazing. Also, what's really cool, and I'm going to try to pop some pictures up here, you might see one in the thumbnail of this as well, is that of all those 10 auctions, all the winners got to design their own personal Wormspan box with different dragons on the cover and then around the sides. And so Jamie's kind of released what those images are, as those are done now, and they are beautiful. So there are a couple of my favorite lead ones. One is Pretty sure it's this little guy is on the cover of one of them. He's so cute. There's another one that I put in the thumbnail for this that's kind of this wispy dragon that's kind of making an 8 with this bright pink that just looks stunning on a cover. So definitely kind of check those out. They're really fun to look at. And obviously all of us have all of them. They're on the cards, but I always find that to be a really neat part of the charity auction when he lets people kind of make their own personalized boxes. All right, did that. So if you're interested, that we've had a lot of game-specific newsletters at Stonemaier Games, and so recently in August, the last one for Expedition Scythe was in August. The last ones for the Wingspan World and Vantage, those both had one in November. And then Rolling Realms Redux, Apiary, well, Rolling Realms in general, Apiary and Stamp Swap, they had ones in September. So if you're looking for some of those game-specific newsletters, those are games and worlds that have those, and you can always sign up for them on the Stonemaier's website. All right. And then I think that pretty much covers Stonemaier related 2024 news. So on to the mill updates. Probably the biggest part of the mill was this year, Molly and I have been working with the mill for about 2 years, and this past June, Dusty decided that he needed a full break for at least a while, maybe forever. I'm sure I'll convince him to come on every so often because Dusty's awesome. But so Molly and I really officially took over the mill in June, so we hope you've been enjoying that content. We started contacting Stonemaier ambassadors for our Stonemaier Spotlight videos to kind of get some more long form videos looking at different Stonemaier games. So far we've done Euphoria, Charterstone, Apiary, and Red Rising, I believe. We hope to continue that. And then we continue. Molly took over the unboxings and reboxings that Dusty used to do. I've been trying to do a lot of solo plays to kind of help you out with those initial solo modes. I did get even a 2-player game in with our friend Jen, who's a Stonemaier ambassador with Apiary. We continue to do updates, usually after a newsletter is when we try to do updates. We've had designer interviews. As I said, I interviewed Paul Sullivan, who did Stamp Swap. We also interviewed Connie Vogelman again earlier in the year. So we're hoping to kind of continue all of that. If there's anything that else you want to keep seeing or anything new you want to see, just let us know and we'll do our best. But for now, I think that pretty much encompasses 2024. Once again, if you're in that holiday buying season, we've done holiday gift guides the past 2 years, and then Molly and I each did a video on our top 5 Stonemaier games. She included her wife Jamie in that to give you another perspective, and I included my children if you need a family kind of kids suggestion list as well. So if you're looking for those, hopefully those videos help you out. And I hope you have a wonderful day, weekend, week, wherever you are, and a wonderful holiday season. Thanks. Bye.